on Instagram, TikTok, Twitch, and YouTube.
I can't see it on freaking TikTok yet. It's not showing me on TikTok
It
yet.
sometimes takes a minute, but
Yeah. I'll close out and come back in.
all
Oop,
right.
there you are. You're on
We're
TikTok.
on. We made it work. All right, cool. Hi, everybody.
Woo.
If anybody's watching, jump in and say hi. I've got comments everywhere to go. I see that you are watching right now. All
That's
right.
the greatness of having my phone and my iPad going at the same
It's a wonderful thing when that happens.
time. Uh-huh.
All right. So it is Newfound Glory Night. So
Yay.
we've had a scattered last couple of weeks. We are finally back in because we missed, like, I think we did one on Tuesday and then we missed 2 Thursdays because of it. So I think we're coming back with a really strong album this week.
Yes.
And just quick shout out, Kevin is in the happiest place on earth, hopefully at a Newfound Glory concert. I think they were at Epcot not that long ago. Somebody go to that Epcot. But he is on vacation this week, so he is missed. But we have filling in Miss Ashley, our resident boy band expert. And fun fact, you are like my pop punk aficionado. So
Yes.
you are the
I am.
absolute perfect person to get in and do this.
And I will do my best to fill Kevin's shoes. And I will say that because I'm the one who's co-hosting, now your co-host has finally seen Deadpool than Wolverine.
Yay! You know, he told me he was watching it the other day, but I haven't followed up to be like, did you? Because I expected more from whatever he usually sends. You know how Kevin be. But we love Kevin. He's awesome.
Yes. He's having the best time probably at Disney right now, so I'm very jealous.
Absolutely. All right, so let's talk about Newfound Glory because Newfound Glory also means the start of concert season for a lot of people, right? Pop punk is for summer.
Yes, pop punk is 100% for summer.
Cool.
And this album kind of like sets that tone because this album came out in June of '02. And to me, I feel like 2002 kind of set like the resurgence of pop punk.
100%
And it
did.
came out, it 100% came out the summer of '02, which kind of like set everything into like transit. Like I know like Enema of the State came out before that and stuff, but this was kind of like the start to all of that.
I definitely agree with you. And I think, you know, you talk about like Enema of the State and anything else that Blink 182 does. I have a holy trinity of pop punk acts that I've seen at this point. I'm missing one out of my trifecta. It's fine. But for me, it's Green Day, Blink 182, and The Offspring as our pop punk icons
Yes.
that like are overhanging. You know, they've gotten so big, this is who you aspire to be. Um,
So I see your holy trinity, and I take out Green Day because
ooh, okay.
and I sub them for Goldfinger
Ooh,
because I feel
Goldfinger's
like
so good.
Goldfinger is like Goldfinger like they kind of set the standards for a lot of these bands, and the lead singer of Goldfinger produced a lot of these pop punk albums. Like even though like Mark Hoppus is on this album, I don't know if you read that
I
in the
did.
yes. So like it was either like Mark Hoppus, or I can never not for the life of me think of the lead singer of Goldfinger. It's going to come to me after this. I'm going to be like, oh my god, I
It always
completely
does.
forgot. Yes, but he produced a lot of pop punk albums like Mest and all that type of stuff. So
Oh,
like
cool.
it's like to me, I feel like Blink 182, The Offspring, and Goldfinger.
I can see Goldfinger. I go with Green Day only because of how ginormous they are and because of, you know, we had Rancid, you know, a couple
Yeah.
weeks back now with Tom and we learned that Billy Joe was actually writing
Yes.
lyrics and was offered the spot in Rancid. So it's hard to ignore Green Day, especially with the actions that they're still doing today. But
Yeah.
I think we need a whole Green Day episode for that.
Yes. I think you need a whole Blink 182 episode as well because I feel
It's
like
going to come
those
eventually.
yeah those two need like their own like I'm not saying like Green Day isn't worth it, but like to me, like if I was to pick like Green Day or Blink 182, I'd pick Blink 182. But as
Yeah.
far as like Newfound Glory is definitely like top like 5 pop punk bands for
For
me.
sure.
It might be like it's not number 1, but it's like it fights for the top for number 1 for sure.
I can see that. Newfound
Yes.
Glory is definitely high ranking for me. I got into them like when this album came out, and I know that they have this is the third album,
Yes.
Sticks and Stones.
Yes.
Um, and so I started on this album because I back in like the LimeWire and Kaza days, I was
Yeah.
trying to download something else, and Head on Collision was the actual song that I got instead. So when I listened to it, I was like, "Who is this? This is great! More, give me more!" And
Yeah.
then I had to go figure out how to download the whole album, and then it's okay. Where do I get a CD? And then from there, it was what else they got,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
their music discography is just fantastic. So you're right, they are absolutely. And I would argue it. If you are a pop punk fan, New Found Glory should be in your top five.
Yes. Considering they had a whole tour that was like basically like defending top pop punk. Like
For
they had a
sure.
whole tour. New Found Glory for me, I got into them. I don't fully remember the whole like way I got into them, but I do remember it was through like a drive-through record sampler,
Oh,
which
okay. Don't you
yes,
miss those?
yes, I do because like that was like a good way to like get into different types of music. And I believe it was Hit or Miss, I think was on it. It was either Hit or Miss or Dress to Kill was on it. And I got
Yeah.
so obsessed that I went to like LimeWire and all that and I started downloading more New Found Glory songs. And it just became like a spiral from there. And then I found out through watching Fuse TV. I don't know if you ever watched Fuse TV after school, and All Things Rock with Benji and Joel on MTV. Did you ever watch that back in the day?
Oh my God, it's coming back to me. I
It
feel
it, it, would, it was
incredibly
on it
old.
was on at like midnight on MTV. Benji and Joel hosted All Things Rock, and they played like videos, and they played New Found Glory, My Friends Over You, and I was like, oh wait, they're coming out with a new album. Like it was just like completely crazy. And I remember going out on the day that it came out and buying it. And that's why when like you say like summer is pop punk, this was literally the summer of my freshman year of high school.
Love that.
So like you're building that like angsty teenage, like this built my angsty teenage youth basically. Cause this album played all the way until Good Charlotte's Young and the Hopeless came out for me. Like this was nonstop all summer.
And then it was the competition of who's going on the CD player next, and then it was
Yes,
I need a
yes.
6 CD changing player. Hey Charlie,
Yes.
good to see you. We are listening. Well, we can't listen live because of restrictions, but we are discussing New Found Glory's Sticks and Stones from 2002 tonight. That's officially making our 1001 albums to listen to before you die. Tell us your thoughts on New Found Glory. What are your favorite tracks off this album as we start diving into the track listings? And before we get there, okay, so you mentioned New Found Glory releases new things. We just got a new song.
Yeah. Like, and I knew we were kind of expecting something new from them because they've been teasing it, but like I didn't expect it like yesterday.
No, not at
No.
all. They've been going live randomly and talking about being in the studio, and I guess they've teased a bit about, hey, if you see us live, we're recording, like, come listen.
Hmm.
Um, so I think it was great that we did get an entire song so quickly. Because do you remember? I think it was maybe 2 weeks ago. There was like a teaser where they just strummed, and it was
Yes.
like,
Yes.
and everybody kind of freaked out. And it's like, is it a new album? Are we getting a new song?
Yeah.
Bam! Here's a new single.
So I've already explained to you like what it reminds me of, and I might touch on that here. But it definitely gives me. It doesn't give me like Sticks and Stones vibes. It definitely gives me more of like Catalyst kind of feel to it.
100% on board with you.
Like
Yes.
it kind of took me back to like Catalyst. Like Catalyst isn't my favorite New Found Glory album. I do love some songs from it, but it took me back to that, and I was just like, huh. Like, because like a lot of their albums, like it goes up and down in style. You either get more pop punk, more hardcore. You get like different tones from them,
Yes.
obviously. But like this definitely gave me like a Catalyst feel, and New Found Glory is that band that can like evolve with their fans.
Mhm.
So like they're not writing still songs about like life sucks and girls and blah blah blah. Like
Sure.
listening to this, I like it gave me the same feeling of when I listened to like the angsty teenage stuff, but now I'm like a 37-year-old, and the song kind of like gave me that same feeling of like this is kind of what I'm going through in life right now.
Oh my gosh, like there's like two absolutes in life. Music evolves with you, and so does Zac Efron. He's everything I've needed my entire life. Like, High School Musical, and I don't know what his latest thing was, but that falls in the
Yes.
same vein.
Was it the wrestling movie? I think it was the wrestling
It
movie.
might have been a wrestling movie. I think the last thing I watched with him, and that I watch consistently, is Mike and Dave Need Wedding Dates.
Yes.
Such a ridiculous movie file. We'll have to do some movie episodes of these.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, you're right. New Found Glory has stayed consistent through life, and when's the last time you saw New Found Glory? Because you've seen them a bunch.
I've seen them 26 times.
Oh my God.
And three of those times was this album in full. So I feel like I am completely like certified to talk about this album. But I've seen them 26 times, and I have seen them play in small dinky little clubs. I have seen them play on the Vans Warped Tour, and I've seen them play in bigger like not stadiums, but like bigger arenas, if you will. And actually, my first arena show was them and Good Charlotte and Less Than Jake at the Civic Tour.
Oh, that was a good show.
It was
I
very
get to see
good.
videos of that on YouTube from time to time as they make it through the rotation, and
Yes, yes. That was a very, very, and it was like it was such a time to be alive to see Newfound Glory and Good Charlotte and everything like that. But
oh,
so I've seen them play numerous amounts of times, and they always put on such a good show.
so
Such a
I've
good
seen
show.
them once. I saw them. I think it was, what year are we in right now? 25. I have the shirt on, but there's no date on the front, and I confuse my years lately. So I saw them with the All American Rejects, and the starting line was my show up at MGM Fenway.
Ah, nice, nice.
So
That's also a good lineup.
it was a fantastic lineup. The starting line again. We're gonna end up on that album at some point in
Oh
life, but
yes,
that was another really influential album. Say it like you mean it. And
yeah,
then we got Newfound Glory, and then we got All American Rejects. Um, I'm gonna leave that alone. But Newfound Glory was the highlight of the show, and
yeah,
every bit of energy that they put on stage.
yes. And they put that type of energy on stage, whether it's in a bigger arena setting, Warp Tour, or like I saw them play at Toad's Place in Connecticut, which is right outside of Harvard, and it was literally not Harvard. Oh my God, Yale. Yale. Is it what's in
In
Connecticut?
Connecticut,
Can I? Is it Yale?
Yale, Yale,
What did
yeah. Where'd
where
Rory
did
go to
Rory
school?
Gilmore go? And it was wild because it
Yeah.
was graduation, so everyone had on like I'm not like the little like sweaters tied with little
Oh,
little
cute.
shorts, and oh man, and there we are like waiting to go into a pop punk show.
Well, that's
We're all
how it
looking around
felt.
like we're like over like we're totally underdressed right now, like, but
Oopsie.
they put on that energy in that tiny little venue in the same type of energy they put on in like a bigger arena show, and that just like attests to like the band. And like I've seen them play with like Jordan, I think it was like a broken foot or something, he had on
Oh
like a
wow,
boot, and he was just like hopping around stage, and like they really just put on the energy. It's great.
that's awesome. Yeah, it's 100% true, and you're right about that. We saw this show at MGM Fenway up in Boston, which is right next door to Fenway Park. And when we got there, it's Boston, so you know that there's never any on-street parking. You really have to go dig. But there was
Yeah,
a ton of people out, and I had looked up if the Red Sox were playing anybody that day,
yeah.
and they weren't. There were no games. So I'm like, this area should not be this busy. And my husband goes, "Do you think they're all going to see the All American Rejects Newfound Glory?" And I was like, "These people don't look like they're dressed for a pop punk concert." So I'm trying to see if there's other events going around, and we realize Morgan Wallen is playing at
Oh
Fenway,
man.
which explained like the short shorts, the cowboy boots, and I looked at my husband. I'm like, "Do you think somebody in a cowboy hat's gonna go see Newfound Glory? That
You
doesn't
don't know.
feel right,
You don't know. They might. Can
really
you imagine like
unlikely."
concert hopping to
I would have killed to see something like that at a pop punk concert because that show got out of control. It was fantastic.
Yeah,
But
but
Newfound
like, but
Glory,
yeah,
like they're the show and the energy that they put on, it's unmatched. And
it is.
I think what makes the show so special, and I want to touch on this part of their discography too, is we have From Your Screen to Stereo, which
Yes,
for anybody who has not listened to these albums before, they are pop punk renditions of classic songs. So there's three that Newfound Glory has put out. So help me remember some of these songs because I don't remember which one's on which.
the first one has "Glory of Love," which I'm not going to lie, I'm gonna get like so much hate for this, but for the longest time, I didn't know it was a cover because again, I've downloaded "Newfound Glory" from LimeWire, and I remember being like, "Oh yeah, it's a good Newfound Glory song," and like my aunt was like, "That is not. That is a cover." Like when you're like 13, 14, and you're like, but I really like this, like you think you
Right?
discovered like this really cool song.
Oh yeah,
It has "Glory of Love." It had I think the Goonie song is on the second one. The
that
Goonies are good
sounds
enough, I
right.
think. Yeah, is on the second
My
one.
Heart Will Go On is in there somewhere.
That is
That's number.
that is on the first one.
That's the first one. I think my favorite. I have two favorites from their covers. One is "Kiss Me" from Sixpence None the Richer. The second
That's on
they
the
started
second one.
playing it live, I was like, they did one strum, and I turned to my friends and I was like, "That's Kiss Me." Like, what are you talking about? Doesn't matter. It was great.
Yeah.
But the other one is "King of Wishful Thinking," but from
Oh, I
Go
love that
West
one. I
originally.
love that one. Yes, yes, yes.
Like, I don't
Uh
think I would have known that song had it not been for
yeah.
Newfound Glory, and
And
then
I think
realized it
like
was a cover.
Newfound Glory kind of started the whole pop punk goes blah blah blah, because
They
like
did.
they did like someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but like I do not remember any other pop punk bands covering classic songs until New Found Glory did From the Screen to Your Stereo.
I think you're right about that. I know that there's other songs out there that are fantastic and that
Yeah.
are pop punk covers.
Well, Goldfinger did do 99 Red Balloons, but like
And I love that better
another
than
one.
Nana Cherry.
And again, I did not know that that was a cover, and I got completely shunned by my aunt. She was like, "What do you mean?"
That's an 80s song.
But it was in Not Another Teen Movie, and that
For
sure.
was
very iconic.
And then I think on the latest one, they did Let It Go from Frozen.
Yes, they did. And they did a whole Disney cover with Simple Plan and all that stuff. They had a whole Disney. That was really good.
Oh, too. That whole album is fantastic. I can't speak highly enough about it.
Do you have it on vinyl? Because it's on vinyl. Yeah, I don't. I haven't.
The second I knew that was coming, I was like, pre-order. That needs to come here immediately.
It's pop punk and it's Disney. What more do you want in the world, right?
Well, exactly that. And I mean, I have a child. You have nieces too. If you can mix pop punk with Disney and get the best, so you're not just singing the Kiss the Girl over and over again, the Sebastian version, life's great.
yes, definitely.
All right, so let's get into Sticks and Stones.
All right. I actually come prepared this time and wrote each individual song, and as a special, because we were jokingly talking about it, to me, Sticks and Stones is the best New Found Glory album for AIM Away messages back in the day. And for those of you youngins that are watching that did not know what AIM is, it was AOL Instant Messenger, and if you were mad at your friend or if you had a crush on a boy and you wanted him to know, you would put very subtle song lyrics in your AIM Away message that had very funky little backgrounds if you were skilled enough to know how to do that. And you would be sitting, you wouldn't really be away from the computer. You would put it up and then wait to see if anyone would message you for it. But this album has a lot of perfect ones that either I used or in general, just perfect quotes that could be used for that. So for certain songs, I might have written some because
I also took notes going back and really reading lyrics through, just listen through. And so for anybody watching, did you use AIM? Was New Found Glory lyrics ever one of your OA messages? Throw it in chat. Let us know. But yeah, going through this, I'm like, if I'm having a bad day at work, I kind of want to put this as my team status just to see what kind of response I would get.
To even start it off with the first song, I'm sick of smiling and so is my jaw. That was my away message many times.
New Found Glory, and I love the pop punk world for this, but you always get such fun emotion out of it paired with such an upbeat song like I'm gonna dance about this heartbreak I'm going through. The lyrics that New Found Glory put out into the world, I think have to be the most used in AIM messages.
Yes, because I don't want to say it's like pop punk poetry, but they were like Good Charlotte did good angst, and Blink-182 made good fart and kind of vulgar jokes in their songs and stuff, and Green Day kind of became more political, but also a mix. But New Found Glory had that pop punk poetry with them. Really if you were falling in love, you could find a song from New Found Glory. If you were mad at your friend, you could find a song from New Found Glory.
Yeah, New Found Glory, and again, their whole discography, you can do it. This one really speaks volumes to it. And so this one they had, started recording in February of 2002, and it was released officially on June 11th, 2002. But the singles we had My Friends Over You and Head on Collision. Now, help me with release dates here, because Head on Collision came out in November 2002. I recall this. My Friends Over You, the date I have is August, but that came out before.
I don't believe the dates online because I remember watching the video before it came out, like I said, on All Things Rock. And it was on Fuse TV before the album came out, because New Found Glory was on Fuse TV to promote the album coming out, and they had the video there. I know that they technically did release a video for Understatement, and it was live footage of them on tour.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember when that came out, but that came out it was kind of bands did that when they didn't have time to film a video, but they needed another single.
That makes sense.
So I remember that was, again, a lot of my pop punk stuff it wasn't my TRL. I used to watch Fuse, basically. That was and again, MTV's like All Things Rock because they did like countdowns and whatnot. But like, My Friends Over You was in that video. Like, that came out before the end of the summer.
Okay. Yeah, because when it's like I keep seeing August as the consistent, but I'm like, there's no way that was a
Yeah,
there was a much earlier release, and
yeah.
I love that
Again,
song.
we're old, so like our memories
Time
are a
is
little
blending.
shot.
I'm not gonna
Yeah,
lie.
but I don't know. I'm trying to think now. I'm like, no, because it was on All Things Rock. Like, I vividly remember that. It's just, but the My Friends Over You video is fantastic. Like, it actually like perfectly describes the band, and there's a lot of cameos from people in that too.
It really does. And so let's talk about start to finish. So this album starts off with Understatement. First of all, there's about 40, call it 41-ish minutes on this album, including like if you have the bonus track at the end. We'll get there.
We'll get there.
If you know the bonus track, if you know, you know.
You know.
But it starts off with Understatement.
I think Understatement's like the best start to this album because you kind of get like that perfect like run into the album with the opening beat.
Yes.
Like, it gets you like pumped. Like, it's like the whole kind of like beat to it just like you like it's a good start to an album. It kind of like gets you like rolling into the tracks, and I think it's perfect, honestly.
I 100% agree with you. It's high energy, it's exciting, it sets the tone for the rest. And again, you want to talk about lyrically, you're getting worse. I swear it. It's hard to prove you're an understatement. That was an AIM message for me.
Yeah.
Way back when.
And like I said, I'm sick of smiling, and so is my jaw. Like, hello, teenage angst, right there.
Oh yeah. This led you into your angst. The second you
Yeah.
heard the intro to this, you were like, I am emo child now. Here we go.
Like, we put my hair in front of my bangs. It's not just a phase,
Yeah.
Mom.
It was never a phase.
It was never a phase. What are you talking about?
Sometimes when I side part, I still bring my bangs over, and I'm like, nope, you're a professional now. Let's be professional. Halloween's gonna come though, and it's gonna be let's dress as like emo kids, but like MySpace emo kids. I miss those.
Oh my
days.
god, with like the raccoon hair, the raccoon little
I
hair.
don't know if I'd go that far, but
I wanted to do that so bad. I wanted to be the cool kid with the raccoon hair, like tail hair. Now I'm just a 37-year-old with a scene kid mullet. It was never a phase,
it
Mom.
was never a phase. So
Never a phase.
Understatement. We love this song. This is an understated song. I don't know about you, but I feel like when we talk about intros, they're forgotten about
Yes.
until the halfway point of the album. And then it's maybe outside of Cyndi Lauper, She's So Unusual, you don't really see a lot of singles as track number one. Well, that's not true.
No.
Britney Spears, Baby One More Time.
NSYNC, Bye Bye Bye.
That was number one. I gotta go back and look at that
Yeah.
track listing. It's
Yeah.
been a day. But so there were only two singles off of this album. There should have been way more.
I feel like this was also in that time when like singles were kind of like not phasing out, but like bands weren't putting out as many singles with albums anymore. Music videos were not like what they used to be.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was like the beginning of the end of MTV basically, and music videos. I know that seems kind of sad, but we were getting music videos, but a lot of the times it wasn't as like elaborate as it used to be.
But this was also a timeline where we're now downloading a lot of music. We're discovering new music this way, and there was less of a reliance on MTV to be like, this is what's new.
Yeah.
We had all these shows coming out at the time too that were really using newer music versus classic stuff, undiscovered or really like newer bands that you're watching a show, you're hearing this song, and it's, oh my god, this is what, give me more. So
Yeah.
it makes sense that there had to be a downfall eventually of the music video because we weren't utilizing the service anymore.
Yeah. And like we were discovering music through the internet. We were discovering music through like LiveJournal and through like yes, I know. Through LiveJournal and later on like MySpace and stuff. Like, we were discovering music in different ways that like singles didn't matter, because like while My Friends Over You is such a great single, like is it anyone's favorite song off this album? Like,
No. Well, I mean, I love the song.
I love the
will
song,
sing
yeah.
this all day, but
yeah.
I knew my favorite song on this the second I looked at it, and I was like, that's it.
I'm I'm curious as to what yours is as compared to what mine is.
Oh, we'll get in
But
there. So,
but
but
like
let's talk about My Friends Over You.
yeah. So My Friends Over You was written as kind of like this album's hit or miss. That's what it was written for. It was just like this album's kind of like catchy kind of song. And while a lot of this album doesn't sound like the self-titled or like Nothing Gold Can Stay, like they try to make it like not sound, but like lyrically they wanted to change it up. My Friends
Yeah,
Over You kind of like bridged the gap between all the different albums. It was the most similar song. It's fun. I love it. I sing it at karaoke
sure.
sometimes.
You have to.
It's that song that when it's played live, everyone goes crazy for it.
Yeah,
And it doesn't matter if you're married, if you're single, if you're not. Like if you got your friends with you and this song comes on, you're in a group and you're like, like it's 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 the Newfound Glory song. Let's just put it
it
that
is.
way.
Yeah. When you hear Newfound Glory, it's, oh, My Friends Over You.
My Friends Over You. Yeah. Um, and the music video, like I said, shows it shows what Newfound Glory is. Like again, it has, I think Travis Barker has a cameo in it,
You
which is
do.
wild. Tim Armstrong from Rancid, Brody from the Distillers. Like there's tons of people in this music video, and it's just so fun because you get to see the different guys' personalities, and you kind of got like, it wasn't like a boy band thing, but I think like everyone had like their favorite member of Newfound Glory. Like, oh yes, mine was Chad.
I also love Chad.
I love Chad. He still is like my favorite. But that video kind of gave you a good glimpse into everyone's personality
Yeah.
of the band, and the song in general. It's just a fun. It's a good pop punk song.
Yeah, it's a great pop punk song. I think that makes it on a lot of people's mixtapes and playlists and things like that. My understanding, it was the last song written for the album because it was like, let's throw a hit on here that
Yeah.
can get us some traction.
Yes.
Lyrically, it's fantastic. I love, I'm gonna rally my troops and I'd pick my friends over you kind of situation. And we've all gone through a breakup or two where it's like, you know
Yes.
what? I'm gonna go hang with my girls. Life's
Yes.
fine. So great song overall. I get why it was a single. It's an iconic one in our
Yes.
timeline because
And
of how
it does
impactful it
have an
was.
aim away message lyric in it too.
Which one you got?
I'm drunk off your kiss for another night in a row. This is becoming
Oh,
too routine for me. Can you see the angst that like this album came out like this like it's the summer after my freshman year, like I said, and it was like I was never had a boyfriend, but I had like a crush on like the neighborhood kid, and to me I was like, these songs are for like
oh, to be young again.
to be like 14
Right?
and it's summer and pop punk is playing.
Pop punk is for summer. I gotta put that on a sticker.
Yes.
All right. So after My Friends Over You, we jump into Sunny.
This song, I didn't expect it at all. And this album came out 2 years after my dad passed away.
Oh,
So
okay.
this song holds a lot. This is the most played Newfound Glory song out of every Newfound Glory song because it honestly helped me process grief. Because like you don't expect this kind of song from a pop punk band.
You don't.
You don't. And it kind of it feels like they're speaking to you when you're listening to it. If you lost somebody and you're trying to process it, it kind of just like gives you that small little bit of closure. And one of the first times I ever talked to Chad, I think I was like 17 years old, and I asked him, who is Sunny about? And it is about, he's mentioned it in interviews before when they've talked about it, but I felt so cool that I got to ask that to him in general, just meeting him casually. And it's about Jordan's grandfather.
Okay.
So it's like a personal experience that they wrote about, and to me I was like, it really moved me. And it's definitely, this isn't actually my favorite song on the album, but it's my most played because when it's that time of year, when it's like anniversaries and birthdays and stuff, and I listen to it and it kind of just makes me feel better.
I get you 100%. My favorite lyric from this song is "Pictures fade away, but memory is forever," and I love this song because it's an upbeat song when you're singing about such a sad subject, and it really is grief ridden. When I had first heard this song way back when, it was my boyfriend broke up with me. This is the song that's on. Like grief can be, not necessarily about death, but when my oh, I lost you. I promise I didn't do that on purpose.
It was like a serious moment. And bloop.
No. So when my Mima passed away back in 2011, I listened to that song again, and it's one that I hadn't really picked up in a long time, but I was like, that was a really good song. And sometimes when I listen to this album now, I have to skip it because it does make me so sad because grief is now in a different place for me. But that's the joy of the pop punk world, and this song is a real tribute to that, is that the songs mean something, and this one was right where I left it. So when I need like that quick jolt of a memory or things like that, it's I can listen to that and think about like somebody that's passed on, and it's a beautiful song.
It is, and it's unexpected for where it is on the track list too.
Right away, right? Track
Yeah.
number 3.
Like, let's just rip out your heart right away. Like,
Yeah.
but then it follows up with something I call Personality, which is like the perfect song to pull you out
Oh
of
my
that.
gosh. Yes.
It's to pull you out of that like sadness. You got Something I Call Personality, and you're just like, whoa, okay, we're back.
Yep. That something I call personality. So we know this is the one that Mark Hoppus is on, playing bass for.
Yes. And it's such a good
Fantastic
bass line.
song, and-
Nothing against Ian and the way he plays bass, but you could,
No.
even if you didn't know Mark Hoppus was on this, you're like, ooh, this bass.
Yeah.
Like,
What's that?
yeah.
We love a fast-paced track about getting your shit together.
Oh yeah.
This is a great song. This should have been a single.
It should have. It's one of those like I'm cleaning the house and this song comes on and it's like you stop what you're doing, you grab like your hairbrush or whatever you want to sing into, and you just kind of like you just go at it. Like it's one of those like danceable, crazy, energetic pop punk songs, and it's just phenomenal live too.
It is. We have a comment in chat that says Mark was right. Maybe you mean Tom about the aliens? That's usually the phrase I get is Tom was right.
Probably.
That's my guess. But yeah, Something I Call Personality, iconic song.
Yes.
And then it moves into Head On Collision.
I like this song. It's just I don't feel like it should have been a single.
Really?
I don't. So the video is cool. I don't know if you've ever seen the video. The video is really, really cool, and I enjoy the video. But I don't skip it. I like it, but it's like one of those not like. I do like I like it. Like I quote it a lot. I do enjoy it. But to me, I'm just like if it was between Something Personality and Head On Collision being a single, Something I Call Personality should have been a single over Head On Collision.
I would agree with that, but I'm also of the mindset that just put more songs out there for people.
Out there, yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
First of all, you can never have too much pop punk in your life. So the more singles that we can get, the better. If you are watching in any of our platforms tonight, let us know what your thoughts are on Head On Collision from New Found Glory. We'd love to hear some thoughts and opinions on should this have been a single, should this have not have been a single.
Now, since this was the song that got you into New Found Glory, I'm assuming you probably had an Aim Away message lyric for this one.
Yes, 100%.
And what is it?
It depends. Because there were multiple. I love this song so much. Like I said, this is the song that like I went to go download something else, and this ended up being the song I got under a different track. So
what were you trying to download?
I have no idea. It probably something by Limp Bizkit or whatever was like trending on TRL. So I got this song and I was like, this is the song for me. It's up there in top 5 favorite NFG songs because of how I discovered this band, and
Yes.
it's wonderful. The lyrical flow of the song from the chorus into the verses with Another Tragic Case and I'm Still, and I think it's a beautifully done song from start to finish. To give you an idea of Aim Away messages, I have to go back and look because I made notes. There are some days that like I walk around too, and something like inconvenient will happen to me. I'll just be like, and it feels like I'm at an all-time low. So, and that's just, I can.
Is that where the band All Time Low got their name from?
It's on my list to ask you about them, and
I don't in the story so far.
Thank you. Yes.
I'm pretty sure the story so far is, but I don't know about All Time Low because I wasn't really big into them in general, but like I'm pretty like I want to say yes, but I'm not sure. But every time I hear that lyric, I think of them. Like I wonder if
yeah, they New Found Glory, again, very impactful. So it's possible that inspiration was pulled
Yeah.
out of track listing song lyrics. So for Head on Collision, I always had the chorus up for some reason or another. But my favorite was all this time you just didn't know it yet, you were gone.
That is mine. That
That's
is mine.
yours?
That is mine. Wow. We were very angsty children.
A little bit, yeah. Trying to really keep like smiles and happy, but read the away messages. They're really telling. AIM away messages were basically diary entries in real
Yes.
time. I'm sorry, they were.
Like sitting there with our fingerless gloves, like my life, and it feels like I'm at an all-time low.
But yeah, we love this song. I love this song. This one is on, I think, every playlist I make for the car. This song makes it on there because it is just like, we're gonna probably terrible to drive around listening to a song called Head on Collision.
Oh
But
yeah, definitely. That's not the best.
not the best, but you know what? It is what it is. I love that song. And when I first really got into it, it sounds like, lyrically about this one, she checked that other relationship after a fight, the Head on Collision, and now it's over. But a head on collision is also like two people like butting heads.
That's how I read it as, is like, because I do believe that they said they wanted to go into this album not writing songs about girls and breakups. So how I look at it is like, it was just maybe a disagreement with like a friend or like someone that like you're just not really getting along with, whether it be in like a workplace or whatever. But like,
For sure. Yeah, I think it's possibly, it could be any two people who aren't getting along, they don't
Yeah.
see eye to eye. But he says there's still waiting for a good day is one of the lyrics. And it's like, maybe you're hopeful that this is going to improve. Am I going to have to put these as my team's messages at work soon?
I'm still. You're gonna go on Instagram. I was gonna say the little bliss. I'm still waiting for a good.
Right? I love it. Let's go old school and just like put New Found Glory lyrics everywhere. They deserve it.
Yes.
All right. After Head on Collision, we've got It's Been a Summer.
And to me, again, that summer was like my crush. But so that was this was definitely like my away message songs most of that summer. It was also like a really good like Facebook album title too. Like,
Yes. Oh my
It's Been a
gosh.
Summer.
I
Yeah,
think I
oh my
still do
God.
that. It's Been a Summer is like, it's such a reflection. It's something I
Yes.
say like every September, like,
Yeah.
oh, it's been a summer.
But it like this song just makes me feel good inside.
It does.
Like, I don't know, like I know like it's kind of not breakup-y, but like I don't know what it is, but it still just makes me it literally my notes for it says makes me feel all ooey gooey inside. I don't know why, but it does.
I can see why, and especially so. I have AIM lyrics out of this one too. I love this song. It is a true pop punk song. The music from like the intro, it really leads you in such a good pop punk way. Um, Two of the lyrics I have: I don't believe in sure things. There's pain in what the truth brings.
I don't have that one, but
I
that's
love
fair.
that one. But then I also have I'd rather die than spend this night here without you.
I have that one.
Those are
And
mine
then
too.
and then and then I have again the most angstiest one that says I crack from my head down to my spine, ready to self-destruct at any time. That was like a bad night. Like, I'm just over everything. This
Over
could
it
be my
all.
away message.
Right? So you have these like crazy lyrics where it's like, all right, rather die, let's self-destruct. It's been a summer.
But like again, like pop punk poetry. Like when I speak the lyrics to you, that I'll be like, man, that sounds like something like Taylor Swift could have written. Like, such good lyrics.
Yeah, and we've talked about like Swemo and Taylor Swift before.
Yeah.
Her next album has got to be some kind of like emo crossover.
Oh my god, yes, I heard this. Like, or even like Green Day might be on Rep TV, so we're clowning for that.
I have been clowning that forever since that donut picture.
Yes, the freaking donut picture. But we're not going to get into Taylor Swift now because that is going to be a whole like trilogy.
Yeah, I need to drive Kevin a little crazy with that one because he already hears me clown more than anybody.
Poor Kevin.
Yeah, poor Kevin.
Poor Kevin.
All right, so after It's Been a Summer, we've got Forget My Name.
So this was actually one of my aim screen names.
Forget My Name?
It was like forget X, like my X name, and maybe like an E was like a 3 or something.
That's hysterical. And you know what's funny is, if you had Forget My Name, your social screen names now are Have You Met Ashley? So I love the transition into adulthood there. Don't talk
Yes.
to me. Hi, I'm Ashley.
I was just an antisocial teen looking for love, okay?
No arguments here.
Um so this song to me, I know like some people take it as like, oh, it's like someone talking about like unaliving themselves. But to me, it always felt like someone feeling like they were left out. Like maybe they weren't in like the main character of their friend group. Maybe they were like in their friend group, but like they were like not the outsider, but like there's like tiers. Everyone knows that there's like a hierarchy to some friend groups. Like maybe you weren't the main person in it and you kind of feel like left out. You weren't invited to things. You're not usually the one people think of when they invite you places. And it does take like a toll on you, especially when you're like a teenager or you're younger. And um the song does have kind of like a hopeful end where you start to see like I'm pulling out of it, I'm gonna like get better. And but some people do take it as like it's depression and it's like the unaliving thing, and I think it did make some parents like, what are you listening to?
Yes, I mean,
Like,
parents were going to question that about anything off
yes,
this album because it's the devil's music. Um, and it's very easy to hear that song and think, is this about unaliving yourself? Is this about something deeper?
yes,
But again, the joy of pop punk is you can really kind of pull depending on what's going on in your life. I never really
yes,
saw this as an unaliving like Johnny Cash,
yeah. I never
Nine
did
Inch
either.
Hurt kind
Yeah,
of situation. I hear a lot of like I'm lost and I'm trying to figure my shit out.
yeah, and trying to find yourself.
Yeah, like it's definitely about like self-discovery and almost like growing up in this song. And
Yeah.
it applied to me at 17, it's certainly applying to me now. I think this song is just a huge testament to it's not who I am anymore.
Whether it be growing out of that friends group, like maybe like to give like the teenage perspective, there was always that like alternative girl that had like the preppy friends and they
Yeah.
felt out of place. Maybe like finding your people or not finding like not belonging in that friends group and having to find your own like where you belong. That's kind of how I always kind of took it. I have no idea why it was my aim name. Have no idea. Because back in the AIM day, like you could change your screen name all the time. I think I had a something corporate themed one at one point.
I think we all toggled through until we found like the one, right?
Yes, the one.
But yeah, I love the AIM name for you on that, especially kid, your current name. So this one is my favorite song on the album.
Forget my name.
I walk around singing it randomly, like the dirty
Yeah.
little earworm that it is, because it is so catchy. The beat and
Yeah.
everything is just a little different.
Even the way they like the tone in which they sing, like the "Tell All My Friends I'm Dead," like that, like tone in it, like sticks in my ear. Like I'm
it
like,
does.
it's so not weird, but like
It's hard to forget
which is weird, which is again ironic because it's called "Forget My Name."
for sure. And I have to point this out because as I was listening through today and really like kind of going back over and doing the deeper dive, in the first verse where it is, the lyric, "It won't be long before you forget my name." I don't know why, but it sounds like Tom DeLonge is singing it. It's
It
the
does.
you.
Yeah,
Where
like
are
like
you?
like I miss you.
Yeah.
And that was before the "Where are you?" and I'm so
was.
so. That
But
was
you
before
hear
it. Yes, it's so like maybe it was like the precursor. Like Tom DeLonge heard "Forget Your Name" was like, we're doing that.
right? You know what? You never know. And again, inspiration's taken from a lot of
Yes.
places.
Yes, but again, like Mark Hoppus like was on this album, so who
Mhm.
knows? Like Tom DeLonge could have been in the thing and been like, I don't want anyone to know I'm on this track because we have background vocals to different people. Like Matt Skiba is on from Alkaline Trio. Is I Skiba? I always say Skiba. Listen, I don't try to pronounce people's names because
You're like, I just go to the shows.
I just go to the shows, and one of the guys from Bane does background vocals, so it's very possible that like maybe he was in like the recording studio when this happened,
Entirely possible.
and Jordan like pulled that kind of like tone from him because like Jordan's like the way he sings, he can kind of his voice transforms depending on the song, and I love that for him. Like I love that he does like different.
Yeah, they all do different things, and you can definitely tell like who's doing. What.
Actually, Matt Skiba is backing in this song.
Oh yeah. Oh well, he was in. Like,
that is the one.
Minute,
which again, like he took Tom's place. It has it written on the bottom. Matt Skiba is on backing on this one. So like, who knows? Maybe that's what you're hearing.
Maybe it is. You never really know. Yeah. All right. So after "Forget My Name," we have "Never Give Up."
This is my skip song.
This is your skip? Okay. So
I don't know why. Like I've listened to it through when we were doing like when I did the full listen through a couple of times, and it's just, I don't want to say blah, but like it just doesn't like stick. If that, like, if I'm throwing songs at a wall and waiting for them to stick, this one just doesn't stick to my head.
I get you. Like, I think it's about getting over the past and moving forward. And
Yeah.
it's not the best song on the album. Like, it's catchy and it fits well, but it's a filler song.
It's a filler song. Every album has a filler song, and this is definitely this album's.
Yeah. Um, I usually don't skip much on this album except for Sunny, and that's like I just have to make sure I'm in a good place to hear it. This one I still listen to because again, it's catchy. You can sing along. But if I and like the joke I always make is if I get up to like refill my drink while this is playing, I'm not gonna be unhappy that I missed it.
Yeah. I think actually when I saw this live, I went to use the bathroom during this song.
Sure.
I was like, "This is my bathroom song."
Oh, everybody's got a bathroom song. There we go.
And like when the album's in like full, you know when the songs are happening. So.
True. Right. That brings us into The Great Houdini.
Oh, this one's so good, and it has so many good aim away messages.
Oh my gosh! I
All
put
dressed
the
up
entire
and-
bridge
yeah.
up as my aim
Yeah.
away message after a breakup in 2005.
All dressed up and nowhere to go.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure that was like a MySpace caption at one point, like
100%.
like a selfie photo, all dressed up and nowhere to go.
Yeah, this song.
Ugh.
Oh, it's such a good song. It's the two lines I love are "I'm saving myself from you." Sorry, "You will never change your ways. I'm saving myself from you."
Yeah.
Stick and twist.
And like it just has that. It's like, got like that classic like pop punk like.
Yeah, it's got
Rhythm.
the hooks that you need for
Yes,
this.
yes.
Yeah, this
Definitely.
is ranked very high for me on this.
It's a
list.
very fun song. It's a
Yeah.
very fun song.
All right, we've got Singled Out next as we get towards the tail end of this album.
To me, this song kind of feels like losing a friend or like a significant other, like that burned you. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to constantly say it's about like a relationship because, like, again, friendships do break up. You have
They
breakups
do.
within friendships, and I definitely feel like this is one of those things, like where they're leaving it to you to decide what you want it to like be. Basically, like, is it about a relationship or is it about a friendship? Like, you get to decide. You get to make it whatever you want to. I don't think it's like that deep, as the kids say. It's not that deep.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. I don't hear like a relationship, like a thing, maybe a situationship or a friendship, and to your point, you know, friends have broken up in the past. It is what it is. I think when you hear the lyrics of the song, it's about a relationship of some kind that hit the point where there is a fight and a decision to be made. And the lyrics that I love: "Why'd you have to turn around after all that we've been through?" First of all, gut punch. And,
or why'd you have to make me say those things about you? Like,
oh yeah,
like that's another good one. Like, how many times have like you've been in that situation in your life? Like, why'd you make me go and do that? Like,
yeah, little gaslighty on that one, but I
yeah,
get it.
no, but like you took my hand and made me do it by the way that you're acting, kind of a situation, and like
For sure.
yeah, and like that's why I don't see it as more of a relationship. I see it as like either whether it be like a friendship or like something like that just did not end well.
Yeah, you know, it sounds like throughout this singled out relationship. First of all, do you remember when Jenny McCarthy hosted that show, Singled Out?
Yeah, and with Chris Hardwick.
Oh yeah,
And-
he's
and the-
canceled.
Oh yeah, with like the what is it, the like the
That
Nick Carter
bowl
hair.
cut. Yeah. Oh yeah. But yeah,
God,
so
that was-
for whoever was fighting here, it sounded like Enough is Enough. And do you remember the song "Leave, Get Out" from JoJo?
yes,
This is akin to that. It's make a decision, be better, or go kiss a cactus.
I haven't thought of that song in a very long.
I
You
love
just
that
like
song.
unlocked like a memory of lyrics. You know, like I've ever seen the movie Dreamcatcher where they have like a library in your brain of different things like lyrics and stuff. Like that like book just opened up with dust of that. Like get out.
JoJo's gonna get played later. I like it. We love us some JoJo.
Yes.
But yeah, overall I love this song. I think it's fun. It's not my favorite, but it's not Not the
No.
worst.
It kind of like sets up the tone as like what the next song Belated does. It sets up the ending of the album.
Oh, it does.
Like it starts the pace for the ending of the album.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I have for Belated. Like I don't hate Belated. I don't love Belated. Belated is kind of the setup for the ending of the album to me.
It felt like at this point like we're really starting to slow down, and in Belated it's the self-deprecation and admission of guilt in the lyrics like right out the gate. It did set us up for a good song. You know, he was not the best in this situationship, we're gonna call it. He talks about missing birthdays, and I think
that line like digs, like that line, like you can feel it. Like September came so quickly. I'm sorry I missed your birthday. You can feel like the
you do feel it.
You feel it.
I think this is an argument like we've all had with somebody at some point where we're yelling and it's like, well, what did you expect from me? I did it.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's like asking somebody to do the dishes and they're reluctant. Well, I did it. Okay, cool. And so this does apply to other areas. And then there is more gaslighting, but
a lot of gaslighting.
A lot of gaslighting statements in here, but you know what? This is, but
it's real. It's real.
It's real. It's these are the arguments that we have with people. And he does this gaslighting statements at the end where he's like, well, okay, well, we'll get through it. And it's like, no, bro call it on this one time of death. That relationship's not getting fixed. It's bad. It's toxic.
It's kind of like he's having a conversation with himself, trying to convince himself that it's a good relationship, and he's like trying to like convince himself in this song, like, no, like it's gonna get better. I'm saving myself from you. Like,
yeah, no, nobody's saved. Everybody moves on. Happy belated birthday, I guess.
So for the longest time, I actually didn't know the names of these songs on the album because I would it was in my CD player and it just never left. So I used to just go off of what the tracks were.
Gotcha.
But I knew the name of this next song because this is my favorite song on the whole. Okay. It's my favorite New Found Glory song.
Fair. So
because it's so good. The story so far is so good. In fact, they made a DVD that came out with this album, like around this album, and it was called like The Story So Far, and it looked like a little popcorn bucket, and I still have it. It doesn't play. Well, it might play. I haven't tried it, but it's like it has like behind the scenes stuff and them on tour, and it was so cool to kind of like, you don't get stuff like that anymore. Like, yeah, you get like people's TikToks and stuff, but like you don't get that like compilation of like, let me go get the band's DVD and watch.
Right.
Like, but The Story So Far is literally the best ending for this album. It's the perfect ending to this album.
It is. You know, I love good song lyrics, and you know, this one again, it's much more slowed down compared to the rest of the album. It's as close to a ballad as you were going to get for New Found Glory,
and it contrasts understatement so well. Like if you play them, it's the perfect contrast of understatement. It's so good.
Yeah, we love this song, and you're right. I think if you were to put two songs side by side, it's contrasting, but it fits.
Yes,
and the lyrics that I love out of this: the sky will never look at the same. Oh my goodness, the sky will never look the same again till you showed me how it could be.
That's on my list. That was 100% like one of my emo messages.
Yes.
Another one was, is it true that you like to sleep alone, or is that just what you tell everyone?
Oh, that's heartbreaking. Yes.
And did you notice I was afraid? I thought I would run out of things to say. That was like my like. I think that was like, you used to be able to like save away messages to use random. That was one of mine. Because it was just such a good, like it just explained my whole personality, like that line. Like, right there.
Yeah.
But
the lyrics out of this were great. The other one that I have is 2 more hours until today burns this away and it starts all over again.
Oh, it's just so good.
That is going to be what the, like, team's message is. Because it's like, you know, 2 more hours left in this day until it's all over. And Kevin's high and on TikTok.
Hi, Kevin.
I hope you are doing something fun, like riding Guardians of the Galaxy right now and not being on your phone.
He had to join in and check up to make sure I'm doing good.
You're doing great. But yeah, this song is absolutely fantastic. You know, it feels like he's comparing a lot of potential relationships to the one that got away. Yes. But it's funny because it's like the one that got away isn't necessarily somebody he had a connection with. It's almost like a missed opportunity or connection.
Yeah, like, or like, that like best friend, like a friend zone kind of thing, where like where you were so close that you had this really good connection, and maybe like saying your feelings, you lost that person. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Like, and then it becomes like the one that got away. But like this song, like whenever I hear that intro to that song, it just gives me goosebumps. Like this is like the reason why I love New Found Glory is this song. It's just
Yeah,
it's so good, and it's like deep, but it's also like a good power ballad. Like every album is a good power ballad.
it really is. Um, this is lyrically, I think, my favorite song to go through and to read through. You know, he somewhere in the end here, I wish the world wouldn't go so fast so you could keep up with all the people you wish you could have. And it
It's
applies to
just
so many areas. It's
yes,
so beautifully done. And it's the
it's
perfect ending to this album
it is it is
until you
because
get to the
it
secret song.
listen. I will never forget the first time that that happened to me because it wasn't the first time I listened to the album. It wasn't the first time I listened to the album because I would listen to it and then I had it in my CD player. And we usually don't like leave your CD player playing. You either restart it or you put a new CD in. If you have this album, you know the secret song. And if you don't know the secret song, it's because you turn it off. The first time I heard this secret song, I was home alone and it was in my CD player and I was playing it. And I was like wandering around, might have been on the computer on AIM, whatever. And it stopped and I continued doing what I was doing. And then you hear the like, and you're like, what the hell is that? And then you hear the, you're like, oh, maybe it's like my speaker. Because you know, like how the radio speakers would sometimes, like if
Yeah, like
someone
get a
was
little
going by with
clicky
something,
feedback.
yeah. I was like, okay, maybe that's it. And then all of a sudden you heard that scream. And then it's like, oh, what the hell? And then house. There's someone in your house. And
There's
I
someone in
was
the
like,
house.
I was like, what? What? What's going on? And like, you're like 14, home alone. And it scared the ever living crap out of me.
It does.
And
It's
even
so
though that I know it's coming,
unexpected.
even if I listen to it in like full, like when I had this before the CD stopped playing on me,
Mhm.
even though I know it's there, if I left it on, it would still scare the ever living crap out of me.
Because you know you get this amazing ending of a song, you
Yeah,
know the story so far, and then all of a sudden you're having the ever living daylight scared out of you by like, oh my
it's
god,
like
am I in
what,
the middle of
like
a home
5 or 10
invasion?
minutes later. I don't know. Is it on the vinyl?
It is not on the vinyl. So I have the 20-year pressing of this
Yeah,
vinyl, and it is not on there. And I was really
yeah.
sad about it because it would have been perfect to be like, hey honey, do you want to listen to music with me
And
right
then,
now?
and then the vinyl
And
just keeps
then give him
going.
a panic attack.
Yeah, because I think it's like 5 or 10 minutes after the story so far. It's a good amount of time after it. And again,
Yeah.
like my CD won't even play anymore, even if I tried to. um, but like if someone out there can like figure it out exactly how long it is to it, but it's a good amount of time that like you forget that you were even listening to a CD.
It's true because,
Yeah,
well, so at the time that this would have been on, you know, if you bought it on release day in
yeah,
August of 2002, right?
not June 11th.
June?
Yeah,
Thank you. So if you listen to this when it first came out, we're all in the timeline of like the multiple CD changing players.
yeah,
So when you
they
don't
wouldn't have
realize that
changed
there's a
over.
song, it wouldn't have changed. You're just kind of like existing, waiting, you know, kind of doing maybe like the doom scroll of the 2000s. And
Or
then,
doing dishes. I
or
think I might
doing
have been
dishes,
doing
yeah,
dishes.
like something else. All of a sudden, there's no music. There's somebody in your house, and it's New Found Glory.
But it was so good. Like there were hidden tracks. Like a lot of albums have hidden tracks. Like, and so it wasn't uncommon to have hidden tracks. But it was
Right.
like they were like, we're gonna screw with you.
Oh, they made it a point to, and you're right. Like it was a trope of the time, right? I think All American Rejects had a hidden track at the end of their first
Newfound
album.
Changes was on the Good Charlotte one, and then there was another one. A lot of albums had hidden tracks to it. Like it
Yeah,
was
and they're great. This is a fun surprise if you didn't know what you were getting into. Someone had told me about it being on the CD, so I never got to experience like your gut wrenching terror of New Found Glory scaring the
being
hell out
home
of you.
alone. Yeah.
But you know, I put on the last song one day, and I waited and I waited, and then all of a sudden it's there's someone in the house, and it's like, oh, this is cool. Okay, cool. And now it's like a thing that I know. I didn't get to be surprised with it, so it's
Yeah.
fun that you got that experience. So
Yeah,
for
I need to send
anybody,
Newfound Glory my therapy bill.
you know what? There you go. Reading through these lyrics, they should be paying for therapy.
Like those
Look at
AIM
the AIM
messages alone.
For anybody jumping in chat with us or on any of our social streaming platforms, were you aware that there was a secret song at the end of Sticks and Stones? Did you hear it on the CD? Do you listen to it now on like the streaming services like Spotify, Apple Music, etc.? I know Spotify has it.
Yeah, it's called Joke Skits because
Joke Skits.
I don't know if there was an actual title for the song, but I know people on the internet called it like the Toothpick Song. That's what it was called on LiveJournal, aging myself here. But it was called like the Toothpick Song because like they redo the lyrics to Never Give Up to like the everyone has toothpick on their table. I don't know. I have no idea. Like I'm like pretty sure they were probably gardening beforehand, aside from Chad because he doesn't do that. But like like I'm pretty sure there was heavy gardening that happened.
It's entirely possible, but you know what? That was the timeline we were in. No. We were all gardening. Who wasn't?
But it was also a fun look into the band too, like because they were goofy, they were silly, like.
I mean, absolutely, and this was a great album. So to end with this great song, and then you get a little bonus. Don't take life too seriously. It's great.
It's great.
Oh, our friend in chat says he does not garden. But do you know the Sticks and Stones ending of the album with Joke Skits? Or what's your favorite song on this album? So that said, we are officially through Sticks and Stones from start to finish. All 12 tracks, 40 minutes, 41-ish if you want to include the Joke Skits. So Kevin's not here. He'll have to give his rating when he does his listen through. I told him to listen on the plane. You get a vote. What are your rankings? So, and I'll go back through them so that way everyone knows. So our rating system starts at a 7 because if it's made this list, it's likely not going to be a 2. A 7 is a pretty good album, would recommend. 8 is a need for my collection. 9 is an amazing album that makes it into my regular now playing rotation, and a 10 is reserved for 2% of 1001. A total of 20 10s should exist within this list. Kevin and I have each burned one.
This is a 9 for me. I originally was going to do an 8.9, but then like I realized I listen to this album in my everyday rotation. Like it's always, songs from this album are always on my like Spotify Wrapped every year. So it's definitely it falls in, it's a 9.
I agree with you on the 9. And I always say like please listen to the albums, make your own connection to the music, and judge for yourself. Like our ratings really don't mean anything. This album really opened up a lot of songs of the pop punk world for me, and I love them. They are mixed on many playlists that I've collaborated on Spotify to make, and I think since I purchased this album, I've listened to it, I don't know, 8 or 9 times, in addition to everything else that makes it into my regular, like, what am I listening to this week? This is another one, like Rancid, like Good Charlotte, that the summer is going to hit. We are in New England. It's officially getting warmer. We had 70 degrees yesterday, thankfully. Oh, yeah. This is going to play a lot more. And in fact, I put on a playlist last night, and there were a couple of songs off on there, and you know, we had some friends over for a game night, and it's like we're singing along because they are that catchy, they are that fun. Yeah. So this is absolutely a 9 for how influential it was, how many people, you know, fell in love with this band because of this album, and there's no way it could rank any less than that.
Mm-hmm. Great. But also I feel like we need to like make pop punk summer playlist and swap it with each other, because I want to know what like your summer pop punk songs on compared to the
do you Spotify?
I do have Spotify, yes.
Perfect. I will make you a playlist, and I will make it global. So if you would also like to contribute to the pop punk playlist for the summer, we'll make it available for anybody who's looking for a good playlist. Yes. I like it. So yeah, we'll have to get some good stuff on there, including Rancid.
Oh yeah, definitely.
All right, so that takes us to the end of our album review, and then we like to do some recommendations for albums you may see in the future, stuff we personally listen to, but also if you have albums that you enjoy, anybody that's listening on our social platforms, send them in chat, send us a message on Instagram or Facebook or TikTok, anywhere we stream, and let us know what are your most influential albums to you from 1980 to today that you would want to see make the official 1001 albums list. Do you want to go first?
Okay. So this first one, I think I've bugged you a bunch to do it and to have me on to when you do it, but it's Alanis Morissette's Jagged Little Pill.
Classic album.
Yes.
I think that one's going to come this month.
Yes, I am. I love it. I saw her live last summer, and she played so many songs from it. It's so good. This is like a non-skip album for me, like 100% non-skip album. So definitely, if you guys need to do it, even if I'm not on to do it to be here for it, I need you guys to do this one.
She's coming. We've had a lot of people recommend that one, so there's no way that we could avoid it. So we're gonna make that happen. I picked this one because she's got a new album coming out this summer. It is Animal from Kesha.
Another great one.
So I think she reinvigorated the club scene when she hit the scene. The songs on here, you have TikTok, you have Your Love Is My Drug. They were songs that people are still singing, and she's re-recording a lot of her older stuff right now because the TikTok song mentions P Diddy. It's now F P Diddy.
Yes.
I think she is so influential for what she's gone through, what she continues to go through, and we need a Kesha night.
Yes, and she's such an icon. Like girls started wearing like feathers in their hair and glitter because of Kesha. Like she's so iconic.
Kesha knows what's up.
Yes. All right. My second one, I think I am keeping with the powerful females here, and I'm going with pop punk. It's Paramore's Riot.
That's a great album.
Paramore's Riot. I absolutely love this album. I love Paramore in general, but I feel like this album is just, it needs to be in everyone's pop punk collection. 100%. It's so good. It's so good.
I think you're right.
And like
Paramore
and Haley's iconic. Like she's so freaking great.
Did you see that they're not re-releasing, but basically putting the dead stock out of her solo album, Flower Petals?
Yeah.
I'm excited for that.
I love her. She's so great.
All right, next. This one was my out of the ordinary pick that I said we should do something. So I've got Eulogy 1 from Josh Radnor.
Oh, okay.
So for anyone who's not familiar with Josh Radnor, he plays Ted on How I Met Your Mother. And he's been in some other things, but I think that's his most notable.
Yes.
I bought the album because I loved Josh Radnor, and I was very surprised by the songwriting quality, by the honesty in here. And I think if we're talking about some lesser known artists, he's an actor. People know him as Ted. But as a musician, he's incredibly talented, and this does not get enough recognition.
Yeah.
So I think
he's such a cool guy too. So down there.
I keep commenting on his Instagram to please come to Providence or Boston so I can go and see him live, because he's actually doing the Eulogy 2 tour right now.
Oh, really?
And I've heard the streams, and I've heard some of the stuff on Spotify. I want it on vinyl. That's how I listen. So that's my number 2.
Okay, so my number 3 is, again, I had mentioned that you should do a whole episode on just them, but it's definitely Blink-182 and Enema of the State.
So I have to ask, because I love that album. It is a classic album. Out of all the albums that Blink-182 has, is that the one that would make the list?
This is the only album I have of them, because I'm very picky about what I buy sometimes.
Sure.
So for me, it is probably the most nostalgic, but that's why I think you should do a whole episode of Blink-182. So that way it can be a discussion. Because Enema is a great pop punk album, but I don't feel like it's their best.
Writing wise, no. I like their self-titled album for that, and that's one that I would probably have argued that needs to make the list of, if you had to pick one, for me that would probably be it. But I'm willing to be challenged. So anybody who's watching right now and is a fan of Blink-182, what's your favorite Blink album that should make this list? Because that is a hot button topic to think about.
Yes. I mean, Blink-182 in general is just a great band.
They are.
They paved the way for the New Found Glories, the Good Charlottes, the all the other pop punk bands. Granted, Green Day basically came first, but Blink-182 really kind of just, they changed the game in a way, if you want to say it. Yeah.
And we have a comment in our TikTok side from Danny. He says younger him prefers the Enema of the State. His older self is the self-titled. And you know what?
Yes.
I think that makes a lot of sense, right? Music evolves with us.
Okay. Yes, definitely. I mean, every time I think of Blink-182 now, I think of the "Where Are You?"
You can't not think about that.
No, it's and that was before it became a meme. So sometimes it's hard to take that song so seriously.
Yeah. That's true. And I think, when you talk about even First Date, and then the lyrics off of their live album, which a lot of people still listen to and then think those are the correct lyrics because they were like, what's my age again? Where's my Asian friend? Um,
Yeah.
it's funny because I think it's First Date. Is it I walk alone or I wore cologne to get the feeling right?
I
And
work alone, take a darker limit.
I always thought it was I walk alone to
That's
get the
what I
feeling right,
thought.
but
Yeah.
I'm told I'm wrong. So,
And actually Chad Gilbert is in the music video for First Date.
oh my God, you're right.
So
I love the crossovers.
Yes, yes. Is it? But isn't that's what's my age again though? I walk alone. It was I work alone together. Is it?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
There's a lot of songs.
But I always thought it was I walk alone. I like, is that like a Mandela effect? Like,
It really could be.
It's like the Usher thing all over again. Oh my goodness.
The Mandela effects that happen, but this is the argument, and going back to like the 2000s when you're trying to find the lyrics online because you've downloaded it off LimeWire, and then there's mixed, lyrics on the internet because no fact checking back then. You got what you got. So maybe you heard it one way, maybe we heard it the other. But our friend on TikTok here says it'll always be I walk alone in his head. So I agree.
Yeah. Yeah, and we have a comment in chat that says that Green Day may have been the first, but I feel like Blink-182 powered the way. And I agree.
Oh yeah, and furthering that, help birth the Sum 41s, the Weezers, and the subgenres that came through.
Yes. Because like pop punk branches off, like then that's how we got like the emos and like the like scene, like it's all like pop punk, and then it like branches off into like all these other different scenes.
It does. That's why when we talk about punk in general, it is an umbrella term now because you do have pop punk, you have ska punk, you have the mixes of everything like you just mentioned, and it's an amazing thing that can be.
Well, now I'm like curious. Like you should do a poll seeing if on like Instagram, seeing if like people think it's like I walk alone or I work alone.
We're absolutely gonna do that.
Like poll. It's not I work alone. Like I don't care. Like
you don't wear cologne to get the feeling right. You walk away to create a little tension.
Yeah.
It's what you do. Teen angst. Yeah. So for anybody who's following us right now, let us know what lyric did you hear in What's My Age Again?
We need to get Mark, Tom, and Travis in here to answer this question,
yes,
please.
Please confirm.
Join the chat.
Join the chat. All right, so my last album for recommendation, some people have called this a one-hit wonder. I don't believe it is, but it is Better Than Ezra's Deluxe.
Is that what you were trying to tell me to listen to before?
Yes, it was.
Yes,
yes. I forgot I texted you that night.
Yes.
So, funny story. I was getting ready to go to trivia because the previous week he put this album cover on and said, name the artist. And I was like, well, I know that one right away. And that's Tom, who was on for our Rancid episode. He put that on and I'm like, I love that album. And so I had listened to it. The next time I went to trivia, texted Ashley and I was like, oh my God, I had an adult candy and I am just vibing to this right now.
You were gardening for the best of
I was gardening hard. But you know what? Better Than Ezra is a great band. One of their albums is not on vinyl. I only have it on CD. They have a lot of songs, and the hit on this one is Good, that everybody knows, but Rosalia is also another one that should have been a single. And I think this is an album that's very slept on, very much considered the album that has that one good song. But if you give it a full listen through, Summer House, I think, is the other one on here that, yeah, it's an iconic album that deserves more recognition than it's been given.
Definitely gonna give it a listen and give it a try.
Give it a go. They're
maybe I'll garden and do it. So
gardening
I can get the full Ashley effect.
You need it, yeah. All right, you got one more?
I brought 3.
Did we already go through 3? Have I been gardening?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, then yeah.
Have you been... You don't garden before the podcast.
I garden every time before the podcast.
See, I can't because I would just be a giggling mess. I'm already a giggling mess, but it would be way more than it.
I love it. All right, so that's going to take us to the end of our suggestions, recommendations. We obviously want to hear from you guys on what you love to listen to for albums, full listens from 1980 to today. So please connect with us, send them to us, and if you'd like to be a guest on the live stream and defend your album, talk with people about it. Send us a message, let us know. We'd love to have you on.
And let us know if it was Walk Alone or Work Alone.
Yes, that's immediately going up after this.
Yes.
We
Bottle of
need to
cologne.
know. Oh, we lost Ashley again. I'm like, where'd she go?
There we go. Well, you didn't lose us. I lost you for a little bit. You didn't lose me.
Oh,
until
weird.
now. Yeah.
There's got to be some weird connection on this thing. But anyway, thank you guys all so much for joining us. We have officially made it through New Found Glory Sticks and Stones. That is getting a high ranking 9. I'm definitely going to ask Kevin for his opinion, but we'd also love to know your opinion on this album. Where does it rank for you? And then we will be live likely next Thursday with another album, so make sure you pay attention to Instagram and TikTok as our main sources for where we are posting and interacting with you guys. Like and follow, and then thank you guys again for joining.